Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling review series. I accidentally blended two episodes together in my last review, so we're going to try to rectify that. At least I hope so here. That being today, or this particular episode, is the official September 29th, 1990 edition. I had blended my notes for this edition and the next week together. So LOD is part of this particular program, as I mentioned in the first one. Anyway, they are on the heels of a interference at SummerSlam about a month before, helping the Hart Foundation defeat Demolition for the Tag Team Championships double press slam by LOD early. Animal stays in, hits some power moves, and some quick punches. Animal does more of the power stuff. Hawk actually the faster of the bunch. Not that Hawk can't do can't do power stuff, but if I had to take one over the other, Hawk would be my speed. Animal would be my power. Hawk with a big boot under the chin of his opponent and a standing dropkick by Animal here. That does not lead exactly where everybody wants it to go. It does lead to a doomsday device. Would not want to be the enhancement talent taking those. No fun at all. Then we move to the update where they start to hype what is in the egg. The Survivor Series egg is mentioned here. Also, the Big Boss Man dealing with his mother being ridiculed is talked about. This happening primarily on Wrestling Challenge. He takes Bobby Heenan, handcuffs him to a ringside rail for the remainder of that program. I remember this being really, really cool as a kid because I get to hear Heenan complaining during other matches, and Bobby Heenan was a guilty pleasure for me. As a matter of fact, Bobby Heenan is the reason I got into wrestling, period, as a fan and as a broadcaster, and actually the reason that I chose to speak for a living. Bobby Heenan traces back to all of that. Anyway, the Big Boss Man says, "You do not insult my mother," and I'm going to get even with the entire Heenan family for this transgression. We move to another enhancement match this time. Tugboat, who is back on TV after missing SummerSlam and a major payday, facing off against, oddly enough, a returning for one match anyway, Conquistador. Conquistador making fun of Tugboat. Not good for his future as he manages to get powered around. Tugboat manages to use his power quite easily here. Clotheslines and the like. Obviously the big splash in the corner, and then a big splash from the second rope is all that Tugboat needs to get a victory here. Tugboat at one point considered possibly for the WrestleMania 7 main event. Can't imagine that, but Hulk Hogan comes out here endorsing Tugboat's return. So Hogan does his posing routine here on Superstars. Rare to see that at the time in late 1990. Hogan usually wrestled on TV maybe twice a year, other than house shows that were televised on main networks. We go to the event center. Ted DiBiase basically says everyone has a price, including Sapphire. He did what he needed to do. Rick Martel and Jimmy Snuka is up next. Basically, Snuka says the model can't handle him. He's grown a beard. He's completely kind of gone a little bush looking, a little heavy looking. Has Jimmy Snuka, but that he's still around for another couple of years here. Power and Glory, I believe this is their first foray into things. Maybe not. It actually can't be because they were on SummerSlam, but they're gaining momentum here. Roma and Hercules. Marty Jannetty basically says that he's going to get even one way or the other with Power and Glory for taking his partner out. Power and Glory have one of the best tag team finishers ever, the Superplex Splash Combo. I know guys on the independent scene who still use that to this day. Uppercut by Hercules. Roma comes in. Roma always has been, to me, better heeled than a babyface by far. Good tag off by Hercules and Roma. Within a couple of months, as odd as it sounds to me, they are Tag Team Championship Challenger material by the end of the year. So their ascension is, in fact, very quick. We go to Sean Mooney at the Event Center, plugging an event coming up at the Boston Garden here pretty soon. Hearts Against Rhythm and Blues is talked about. Dino Bravo talking about a match with Tugboat and wanting to eliminate the Tugboat once and for all. Hogan, he claims, won't be around or as popular or as available, and he wants to finish this once and for all. Bobby Heenan presents Ravishing Rick Rude. Rude does some insulting of the Boss Man's mother, basically said that she looks like the women in the area, sweat hogs, ugly, and the like. Rude, not long for the promotion, left before the Survivor Series, so a matter of weeks left on his choices of career here. Shots to the midsection and a rude awakening for Rick Rude. Rude looks in peak condition. Heenan does more insulting of the crowd and the Boss Man's mother post-match and runs for a couple of minutes with that, which Heenan eventually has to fill in as Rude is eliminated, and thus there is the need for someone to take places in matches with Boss Man. Heenan does that. Rick Martel, speaking of another Rick, out there promoting arrogance again, apologizes half-heartedly to Jake Roberts. Dusty Rhodes says that there's some things money can't buy. Tries to put Brother Love in his place. Odd to me that the Warrior was allowed to all but destroy the podium last week, and it's back up a couple of weeks later. That he just remakes them like they're willy-nilly. Anyway, Sergeant Slaughter in his new heel role with General Adnan is up next. Odd to me that Slaughter goes from the turn probably around July or so. And he's challenging for the championship in January. Again, it's a sign that, in this day, they knew where they were going. Big backdrop by Slaughter. Slaughter doesn't have the best finish here. Short clotheslines. A lot of things Slaughter's doing is looking weak. To think that he was a top guy in 82, 83, 84, and now using an atomic noogie. And if you haven't seen it, he literally does a noogie-like motion into the temple to gain a finish. Just really weird. Plug for the Survivor Series upcoming. Pretty continual there. Then an enhancement match for the Bushwhackers. Bushwhackers kind of come and go. They got a push for about a year and a half, and then they kind of are just afterthoughts as a team here in the WWF. They're comedy afterthoughts. They're on nearly every house show, but they never really gained a major push except for a couple of matches here and there. Really quick match. They do the double down. Partners run together. Then we go to the tag, and we do the bite the butt spot among other things. Luke does the majority of the work in the ring for this particular enhancement match. Battering ram by the Bushwhackers, and a victory for them. Then we move to a promise of a match for none other than Big Old Tugboat against Dino Bravo coming up at the Boston Garden. And then we move to kind of plugging the card for the Boston Garden upcoming. And we'll wait a minute here. Give me about 15 seconds. I'll run down the card for you because it's kind of fun to look back 30, 35 years ago. Can't believe it's almost, what it is, 30 plus years ago now. 1990. Good gosh, I feel old. But anyway, British Bulldog.